hip capsule mode. So just a quick run through, lateral distraction in the hip, wind that thing up, get into the corner, see if you can think of yourself what you'd be working on. Externally rotate the leg, bam! Press that hip to the side, grinding through the capsule, kind of lining up. That'd be one. And this really is going to help flexion, restore that capsular motion. Number two, still thinking about working on into flexion and squatting, probably is going to be starting in a single squat, biasing flexion first, right? And then adding the external rotation, and then hunting through those positions. That'll probably be number two. Number three will be to go ahead and collapse down into full external rotation, or do it up on a bench, and then from this position, load, tension the hip, all three directions, kind of really looking forward all the way over into those corners. That'd probably be three. Number four will be, bam, the couch stretch. That's right. Let me move my daughter's homework. Winding that hip up. You know it, I know it, we love it. This one has two positions. So, four is press the hip to the ground into those corners, come up tall, open the hip up here. If you're getting 2 minutes apiece, you can see this is a 20-minute routine, right? We've got to add a little bit different bias on that. We walk over here. We get hip capsule in the back. You see what we've covered in 90 plus days. There's a lot here. Remember, our conjugate model of mobilizing is to keep having different stimulus, hitting different things all the time. Samson, with this kind of the band being pulled forward, open up the hip, bias those corners, squeezing the butt, really hit that anterior hip. Whoa. And if we're in that position, we've got to talk about here, really exaggerating the straighter leg, hitting the internal rotation, the back leg here, and hitting forward. I don't even know where we are, that's at 7, right? Hitting in this corner, opening up the hip. Then we have to talk about this lateral hamstring. Any variation in this position, going for a good cold fashion contract, relax, dropping down if you wanted, open up the hip, try to contract, relax into these corners, and just rotate through those different various hip positions. So back straight, full forward, load and tension, kind of come in, looking for those different corners all the way through that piece. We've got to talk about calves. You've got to throw a shoe on for this bad boy. I'm not going to lie, turns out the red shoes are very popular with the older ladies at the TSA when I go through security. Didn't know, but that's the number one reason to wear a red Innovates. Foot goes up, two positions here, bring the hip to the wall. Second one is knee to the wall, kind of exploring kind of more gastroc. In this position, hip to the wall, and then knee to the wall, kind of hit some of those distal heel cords. And then we're probably into what we think is really relevant. Yesterday we had a variation with the band. We probably got to get into the groin at some point, some way. Hit those adductors up against the wall. That would be, I think we're like 9 or 10 now. Winding that foot up into this position, that's going to hit this. Then you can see why this is so exhausting, why people don't tend to start. But if you're going to make a list of just basic maintenance, at some point you got to pull the ball out, you got to stick the ball into your butt, rolling into those corners. I think that's really important to unglue some of those hamstrings, and especially the glutes, kind of this high hamstring piece, right? Right at the insertion, open up through here, rolling through the glutes, kind of thinking high hamstring hip, high insertion into the glutes, and then you got to walk around and probably really legitimately unglue this TFL, that tensor fasciae lata. So throw on the ball here, unglue yourself into that position. All right? So